To introduce GYANVATSAL SWAMI, may I request Dr. Sudhakar Koppit, Head Department of Anesthesia of Mahavir Jain Hospital, Bangalore, to give a small introductory note of Swami.
Pujya Sri Swamiji, leaders and distinctive leaders from anesthesia and also from industry partners, good evening, pranam and Jai Swaminarayan. With deep sense of gratitude and blessedness, I have the task of introducing very holy speaker who is addressing a keynote talk. What a grand, divine way to begin 2024. When 2023 has gone into records as the world's hottest year in last 100,000 years. Clearly a man-made calamity, waiting to eliminate many nations on the earth. Looking back at our own country, proudest, largest world's democracy and emerging economic giant. Yet, one of the unhappiest nations on earth, just above Pakistan and Bangladesh. At our own profession, the Physician Foundation of America reveals 3 out of 4 doctors, they experience burnout. 9% of men and 11% of women go through some kind of suicidal thoughts. And interestingly, 300 to 400 doctors take their own lives each year. This evening, we have amidst us a saint, a spiritual leader, a social reformer, and a motivational speaker with a recipe on reinvent, evolve, and lead. He comes from a land of Mahatma Gandhi, and his social reformation, his life's mission, the way Mahatma Gandhi had. He's a mechanical engineer from Birla Institute with an exceptional educational background, inducted as a sadhu as early as in his career by 5th spiritual successor, Pramukh Maharaj Swamiji. In his pursuit, he has delivered close to 16,000 life-enhancing talks, touching nearly 3 million lives across all the continents. He is a Vedic scholar, an avid reader, and an orator as well. Hence, he is most sought-after speaker over universities, professional organizations, corporates, and business magnates all over the world. He is not only most heard and watched, Swamiji, but also most read through his weekly columns in Sandesh and Divya Bhaskar in Gujarat. In recent years, in recognition of his exemplary social contributions, 2 universities have conferred doctorate degrees, and also he has been recognized Saint of Modern India. With his life experiences, he can speak on how Sachin Tendulkar reinvented himself after a disastrous debut with Pakistan in Karachi in 1989. He can also speak on Larry Page, Bill Gates, and Jeff Bezos, how they evolved in their businesses and became superstars by a football coach. Now it is time for him to bless us with his divine speech on how we can reinvent, evolve, and lead. So let us put our hands together and welcome Pujya Sri Dr. GYANVATSAL Swamiji, who is an embodiment of humility and universal harmony.
Dr. GYANVATSAL Swami is a life coach and eminent speaker from BAPS Swaminarayan Sanstha. A mechanical engineer from BVM College of Engineering, Gujarat, he was initiated as a sadhu by His Holiness Pramukh Swami Maharaj, the fifth spiritual successor of Bhagavan Swaminarayan. An extraordinary public speaker, he is invited by universities, corporates, professional associations, social communities, and government bodies to address gatherings. Swamiji's compelling words have ignited positive behavior change and transformed numerous lives across the globe. A popular columnist, his weekly articles in the daily newspapers, Sandesh and Divya Bhaskar, have a huge dedicated readership. He is today one of the most visible, watched, and followed personalities on popular social media platforms. Dr. GYANVATSAL Swami has interacted with over 5,000 leaders and 3 million people from over 32 countries. He has delivered over 15,500 life enhancement talks in the past 31 years. He has been conferred the Doctorate of Literature by 2 universities, Sri Govind Guru University and Hemachandracharya North Gujarat University, for his exemplary social service. Swamiji has also been recognized as Surya Ratna, the Saint of Modern India, a National Lifetime Achievement Award by Surya Datta Group of Institutes. He has also had the supreme privilege of traveling and serving as an interpreter for HDH Pramukh Swami Maharaj in many of his religious world tours. Abiding to his Guru Mahant Swami Maharaj's wish, Swamiji travels incessantly to reach every person who seeks to improve their quality of life, spreading the message of universal harmony that BAPS Swaminarayan Sanstha inspires and embodies. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Dr. GYANVATSAL Swami.
गुणातीतोऽक्षरं ब्रह्म भगवान् पुरुषोत्तमः जनो जानन्निदं सत्यं मुच्यते भवबन्धनात्. With prostrations at the divine feet of Bhagavan Swaminarayan, my Guru Hari, Param Pujya Pramukh Swami Maharaj, and my Pragat Guru Hari, Param Pujya Mahant Swami Maharaj, my heartiest namaskar. Jai Shri Ram, and a very good evening. Well, it's always pleasant to be in the midst of so many knowledgeable people, as I feel privileged to be with you today. When you say that I visited a conference of doctors, it's pleasant. But when you say I visited a doctor, it is unpleasant. So here is a conference of doctors, the anesthesiologists, and Ganga Medical Center and hospitals. They have coordinated the efforts and their team have come together for such an august audience, august presence today in the conference. Well, when we talk of anesthesia, let me tell you that when I finished my HSC 12th standard, I got admission at the MP Shah Medical College in Jamnagar in Gujarat. I also got admission at the MS University Medical College, but I opted for engineering. because my dream was to go for UPSC, for public services. So I thought at that time that I would perhaps get more time to prepare for my UPSC if I'm doing my engineering courses, because that would give me many reading vacations and summer vacations. And medicine course would probably not give me that much amount of time to prepare for my UPSC, so I went for engineering. But before I could embark on the bigger journey, my Guru Pramukh Swami Maharaj asked me to become a saint, and so since 32 years I'm here and today in front of you. So when we talk of anesthesia, you know, when you inject, the person becomes unconscious when it's full body. The interesting story that we have not heard, or perhaps we have never thought of, is that when a person is injected and he's absolutely unconscious, when it is full body anesthesia, he doesn't feel the touch, he doesn't feel the taste that we know. But today when we want to reinvent ourselves, and when Sri Ganga Hospital has Unleash and Excel as inspirations and motivations for us, when a person is given full body anesthesia, he doesn't experience insult and a slap as well. Keep this sentence with you for a moment. We'll talk of it later. Not experiencing feeling, that is not experiencing the feeling of touch or taste is one thing, but not experiencing even a slap by somebody and an insult by somebody. The same thing can happen to us as a human being if we elevate ourselves by reinventing ourselves on the spiritual path to reach to a state of mind, a state of equilibrium, where we live a life on the same wavelength throughout 80-90 years of our life. I'm being told by Dr. Bala Venkat in one of our communications and correspondence that we had 3 or 4 before I came here, that give spiritual inclination to your talk, because the regular technical sessions would follow and the regular technical speakers would be guiding you a lot, your seniors, experienced people. But as a saint, what you can add spiritually to your profession so that you become a better professional, so you become a better human being and you give a human touch to your profession is important. Am I right or wrong? What we need in each and every profession is a more human touch. What we need in each and every profession is a more spiritual touch, so that we become a better version of our own self, and so that we better satisfy our customers, in your case, patients. We are capable of doing it. How many of you believe, just raise your hands if you say yes, when I ask this question, that we can always create a better version of our own self if we decide to? All of us, we have raised our hands. We all are in the thinking process, we all are in the implementing process, we all are into the practical behavior process of bettering ourselves. But today, when we are talking of reinvent, evolve and lead, let us talk of something that is a definite path to making a better version of our own self, as a professional, as a human being. When I talk to professionals and corporates, I tell them we must be academically well qualified, we must have smart professionalism, we must have humble humanity, and we must have staunch devotion towards God. When this happens, it's a combination of these 4 that makes you a perfect human being, that makes you a perfect professional. It's the combination of these 4 that we need to make. So when we talk of reinventing ourselves, a wonderful example to share with you. You know, coal, graphite and diamond are made up of same material. All are carbon atoms and nothing except carbon atoms. When these carbon atoms, they come together in a haphazard way, in a haphazard structure, the final product is a coal. When the same carbon atoms, they come together in the hexagonal structure, the benzene ring that we have all studied during our high school physics and chemistry. In the formation of a benzene ring, that is a hexagonal structure, the outcome, the final product is a graphite, a bit more better used than coal, or perhaps it has a bit more better market price than coal. Same carbon atoms, if they come together in a tetrahedral structure, the final product is a diamond. So coal, graphite and diamond are real brothers, rather triplets. But there is a big difference in the market price and their value in the hearts and minds of people, isn't it? Why? Being real brothers, being triplets, coal, graphite and diamond. Why such a big difference? The answer to this is design of the internal structure. This is the most important sentence that you, once again, I suggest, remember. Design of the internal structure. Sitting here, we all have academical qualifications. Academically, we are qualified. We have perhaps the same kind of certificates in one or the other way. Somebody from this university, somebody from that university. But on an average, let me put forward that we have almost the same kind of certificates, isn't it? Yet, there will be difference of our images in the hearts and minds of our colleagues, of the doctors with whom you are associated as an anesthesiologist, and maybe even the patients. Design of the internal structure is most important to reinvent yourself. We want to make a better version of our own selves, so we fit our ecosystem well. For that, the principal foundation is design of the internal structure. Outwardly, we are all same. In terms of information and knowledge, we are all same. But in terms of wisdom, we are not same. We have different levels of wisdom. According to genetic sciences, there is only 1% difference between a chimpanzee and a human being. Genetic sciences, they say that the 1% difference is that the humans have the advantage of gathering information, processing that information to convert it into knowledge, and ultimately processing that knowledge to convert into wisdom. If we don't reach the third level, the 1% difference dissolves and we become genetic sciences, they say. So we're sitting here all, we have the same certificate, same information, knowledge, but big difference in converting that information and knowledge into wisdom. Let's talk practical now. How do you reinvent yourself? How do you make a better version of yourself? First thing, always become a prosperity thinker, never ever a poverty thinker. What does a prosperity thinker think? He thinks that things are manageable. He thinks that there is a way out of this issue. He thinks that there is always help and support around me. He thinks that tomorrow morning the first rays of sun coming into my bedroom when I open the window are the rays of hope. He's a prosperity thinker. And what does a poverty thinker think? Oh my God, there is darkness around. Oh my God, there is no help and support around. Oh my God, I don't find a way out of this issue. Oh my God, I'm stressed. As the word was used, that 3 out of 4 doctors, they experience burnout. These are the thought processes of a poverty thinker. Now listen carefully. The situations and circumstances that prop up in front of you, in your personal life, in your family life, in your social life, in your public life, or even in your professional life, may take time to change. Am I right or wrong? But by the time they change, in which state of mind you present yourself and remain is in your hands. To change a situation that you don't like in your life, it may take time. Am I right or wrong? Yes or no? But what mental equilibrium to be kept, what stability to be kept during that time of patience is in our hands. There lies converting information and knowledge into wisdom. Otherwise, you will go, as said, for depression, stress, and suicides. That keeping of equilibrium of mind is prosperity thinking. If nothing is in your hands, one thing is in your hands, to have prosperity thinking, isn't it? And we believe that even the most poor person upon this earth has the right to think that someday I can become a billionaire. Right or wrong? Even the most poorest person has the right to think. So prosperity thinking is our fundamental right. For that, you have to be constantly in the state of exercise in your mind. Whenever a negative thought props up, a negative emotion props up, kill it by a thought. A thought has to be killed by a thought. An emotion has to be killed by an emotion. If your negative thought process tells you this is too much stressing, immediately fire. This is possible. I'll make it happen. If your negative thought process says that this person in your life, maybe a friend, maybe a colleague, maybe a neighbor, maybe a cousin, is not quite good manageable, you have to positively insert a thought that he is manageable. I have to find a way. So killing a negative thought by a positive thought, killing a negative emotion by a positive emotion, this is called prosperity thinking. Then you will remain 24/7, 365, 80 in a positive state of mind. And this is a big success. You will lead your organization. See, for leading the organizations, you don't need too much of academic qualifications and too much of experiences and too much of platforms and too much of back support systems. No. What you need are certain qualities, and the first quality is that if you can be in a positive state of mind, in an equilibrium state of mind, 24/7, 365 by 80. Did you get this formula? 24/7 is 24/7 UI shops that are open 24/7. 365 is the number of days of the year, and 80 is the number of years of your life. 24/7, 365, 80. Tell yourself, I am designed by God, and I have added some design by my own self to myself so that I can remain in a good, positive mood 24/7, 365, 80. Because life is a 70 or 80-year game. Choice is yours, whether to keep crying on occasions, whether to accept the occasions and live with it. Choice is yours. But make a wisdom-filled choice so you stand a good chance for a great change in your life. And that change is evolving and leading. Prosperity thinker. For that, you have to control your inner dialogue. I suggest a book. The title of the book is Still Power, written by Garrett Kramer. He writes in this book, wonderful equation. I'm giving you the gist of the entire book in this equation. Performance is equal to potential minus internal interference. No external interference has the power to reduce your performance. Only your internal interference has the power to reduce your performance. Performance is equal to potential minus internal interference. I would request all of you to repeat with me what I say. Performance is equal to potential minus internal interference. By internal interference, don't mean the internal politics of your organization, wherever respectively you are. आप सब हंस पड़े मतलब कुछ तो होगा. Internal interference, I'm talking of our own self. Internal doubts, mistrusts, their internal interferences. A positive state of mind carries you forward. You have to fight with it. Recently, India is playing Afghanistan in T20 internationals. The 3-match series concluded yesterday. I think day before yesterday. In the first 2 matches, Rohit Sharma scored 0. He decided to have minimum internal interference to his performance. Okay, at the moment we know he is passing through big baggage on his head, because after winning 10 matches on a trot in the World Cup, they lost, that is we, not they, of course we lost the 11th one, the last one, and that was a final, and we lost the World Cup. So you can understand, as a captain, as a leader, he must be experiencing tremendous stress. It is understood and accepted. It's part of everybody's life. That may take a toll, that might have taken a toll, but in the 3rd match, he decided to control his internal interference. And when internal interference comes down to 0, your performance is equal to your potential. And that is what he did. He scored the 5th T20 international century, becoming the only player in the world to do so. To make performance equal to your potential that you have, decrease your internal interference to 0 level. For that, don't carry your office, your work in your head back home in the evening, and don't carry your home in your heart in the morning at work. Clear demarcations. When you are here at work, you are not a family person. And when you are back with your family, you are not a doctor. You are a father to somebody. You are a husband or a wife to somebody, a father and a mother to somebody, a brother and sister to somebody, a son and daughter to somebody. Make clear demarcations. Only then you will be able to reduce the internal interference at your workplace or in your relationships back home, in all your social circles. This is very important. We need to reinvent ourselves. But the biggest problem, after all my travels and my reading and interactions with people, I found that the biggest problem with the 21st century professional is that he wants to identify himself and create a credit in the society by his achievements at his workplace. I did so many operations. I injected anesthesia to 5,000 patients. Today I crossed the mark of 5,000. Today 10,000. Maybe somebody sitting here would be more than that, I don't know. Just casually putting a figure forward. The moment you decide that I am not the visiting card that I hold, I am not the car that I drive, I am not the house that I live in, I am not the branded clothes or jewelry or spectacles that I wear, I am a human being simply upon this earth to perform my task to the best of my knowledge. You will reduce all internal interference and be a free person to work and keep relations with people. जीवन में एक दफा भी चेहरे पे टेंशन नहीं आना चाहिए. That is a human life need. That is reinventing yourself. Any kind of issues in life, that is where we want to reinvent ourselves. And you evolve as a human being. Because this is a 70 or 80-year game. 150,000 people leave this earth every day. So every 2 seconds, 3 people leave this earth. I started my talk and it is about nearing 15 minutes. 15 minutes plus. So 900 seconds. So 1,200 people left this earth. So one day we will be in that list. Stop crying for any matter. A good day, appreciate it, enjoy it, celebrate it. A bad day, learn from it. A pat on your shoulder and a slap on your cheek, both are needed to reinvent yourself. Accept both in life. When I talk to professionals, I tell them, if you have not encountered a major failure in your life, you are incomplete as a professional, incomplete as a human being. Because the caliber of a person is not tested during his times of success. A caliber of a person as a professional and as a human being is tested during times of failures, how he handles setbacks and failures in life. To handle your setbacks and failures, you need to reinvent yourself. So, performance is equal to potential minus internal interference. This is the gist you need to carry back home. Another aspect of reinventing yourself. Mind has reasons, heart has emotions. A great scientist, Pascal, we all know his name. He gave us the process of pasteurization. He used to say the heart has reasons of its own which the head can never understand. So by head, you are all doctors, anesthesiologists. By heart, all of us are human beings. Yes or no? Don't allow your head to interfere into your heart's emotions. For that, generate a powerful emotional within. A powerful emotional within. So that it becomes your life motto. One fine day you had a motto of becoming a doctor, you became. But one selfless motive in life should be the ultimate motto of life. And when you keep a selfless motive constantly in front of you, of selfless service, it has the power to generate much energy, to dig out the values and virtues from our soul, because Swami Vivekananda used to say, each soul is potentially divine. A lot of divinity lies there within us. But because of constant work thinking, constant professional achievements, constant social connectivity improvements, we are unable to find time for our own selves and allow those values and virtues in our soul to brighten up our lives. So one selfless motive, so today is your homework. Before you go to bed tonight. Because at the moment, at this very moment, I am the professor and you are all students. And I am taking a class. Isn't it? Yes or no? So have I the right to give you homework? Just raise your hands if you say yes. Yes, and the homework is before you go to bed tonight. Decide a selfless motive, which Stephen Covey says in 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. A mission statement. Apart from your work process, apart from your work field, work field mein to you are made up of motive statement. I want to be the most popular anesthesiologist of the state of Tamil Nadu or the state of Telangana or Hyderabad or Gujarat, whatever. Fine, it is needed to constantly energize you. But a selfless motive mission statement. I have seen Pramukh Swami Maharaj from very close. He was just 5th standard pass. Could not speak a single sentence in English. Not even Hindi. I'm talking of my Guru Pramukh Swami Maharaj. He had a selfless motive, a mission statement in his life. And that was, in the good of others lies our own. In the progress of others rests our own. He walked with this selfless motive. And as I said, when you keep a selfless motive as a mission statement of your life, you can't imagine the amount of energy that is unleashed. Ganga Hospital statement reads here, unleash and excel. You just can't imagine the amount of energy that unleashes within you. In his lifespan, he created 1,300 institutions of social service. 1,300 hospitals, hostels, schools, colleges, community centers, sanskar kendras, mandirs and akshardham in a span of 45 years, and that too from his age of 51 to 95. His age of 51 to 95, he created these institutions. Imagine. Purchasing a land, getting it legally clear. What to do on that land, a hospital, hostel, school, college is decided in our BAPS, the organization that I come from. by the board of trustees. We are a non-profit organization. The funds are raised as charity. The plans are designed, architect designs the plans are passed in the local government bodies, and then the construction starts and the construction is over. 5-7 volunteers of BAPS needed to run the institute got, the paid staff got, and the institute put in the service of society. The entire story that I described, from getting the land to putting the institute in service, Pramukh Swami Maharaj did it every 15th day of his life for 45 years. To add just one bed to your hospital every 15th day is a challenge, isn't it? To add just one bed to your institute, to your hospital every 15th day is a challenge. Pramukh Swami Maharaj set up an institute every 15th day. And today all 1300 are working efficiently and in the service of society. A powerful selfless motive has this energy. And when once he was asked, which thought remains with you 24/7? He said, the thought that has never entered my mind. Shall I tell it first? And that was more interesting. He said that the thought of hurting anybody physically, mentally, or emotionally has never entered my mind. This is reinventing yourself. You evolve and you lead the organization. This is how we must behave with our colleagues, with our doctors, and with our patients. Always think good of everybody, and it will return back. The theory of karma applies. Reinvent yourself and tell your mind, I can never think ill of even my enemy. And see the moods getting generated from your soul. You will be in an extraordinary positive mood 24/7, 365/80. This is reinventing ourselves as a human being. To become a professional, billions of people upon this earth are professionals. It's not a big task of life. But to grow as a human being, evolve as a human being, and live the highest standards of human living as prescribed in the Vedas, in the Upanishads, in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, in Ramayana, is a life well lived. We have the Pran Pratishtha of Sri Ram in Ayodhya on 22nd of January, just 4 days from now. If you read the Ramayana, what a professional needs to learn from Ramayana? Many things. Let me put forward only one thing. I'm going absolute professional. Tulsidas in Ramayana says, Pardhan patthar maniye, parstri mat saman, itne se hari na mile, to Tulsidas jaman. He says, that belief that the money, the wealth that does not belong to you is like sand and stone to you. Don't even spit at it. A woman other than your wife is either your mother, your sister, or your daughter. Just two such disciplines, these two disciplines in your life about wealth and the other gender, that applies both to men and women. These two disciplines, and Tulsidas says, if you don't achieve God, I will be your caretaker. I will connect you to God. As a professional, ethics in profession is much more important than your knowledge. Yes or no? Our academics, information, knowledge, and experiences can open any gates for us. But only our ethical behavior and character will keep that gate open. Otherwise, you become zero from hero within seconds. So reinventing ourselves is, I will always remain wedded to ethical practices in my profession. Reinvent yourself and you evolve as a leader. Because you can keep your head held high in the midst of any crowd and tell yourself, I have not done anything wrong in my life. Repeat with me. I pledge to keep the highest standards of ethical practices in my profession. Raise your hands. Reinvent yourself in this area. We are very good in this area, but we need to be superb and excellent. The other word here for Ganga Hospital is excel. To excel, you must be ethically 100% right. Pramukh Swami Maharaj created 1,300 institutions of social service. He was spiritually so high. Ethically, his conduct was, as the word written here, excellent, that he has never made a private or a public mistake in his life. And today his successor, our Guru, Mahan Swami Maharaj, is 91 years age, fit and fine. Pramukh Swami Maharaj created an institute every 15th day of his life. Since 8 years, our Guru Mahan Swami Maharaj is creating an institute every 8th day of his life. Double the average. When you are ethically right, you know the advantages that you have as a professional? First advantage, people would like to come to you and work with you. You become a leader. Second advantage, people would accept you in their hearts, not just by your status. You become a leader because you evolve yourself and you become a leader. Third advantage, which is quite very important, when you are ethically right, you can constantly live in a state of joy that I have done nothing wrong in my life. Because a proverb in English goes that no pillow is as soft as a clear conscience. When you go to bed at night and put your head on your pillow in your bedroom, on your bed, the softest pillow, the most comfortable one to put your head on and have a good night's sleep is a clear conscience that I have not done anything wrong today. Am I right or wrong? So no pillow is as soft as a clear conscience. No food is as sweet as a clear conscience. And no personality and character is as presentable as a clear conscience. So when you are clear in your conscience, it's a different life that you live. So reinvent yourself for a clear conscience. You can put your hand at the end of your life on your chest at the age of 80 and 90 and tell yourself, I have not done anything wrong in my life. God has to come to you. This is reinventing ourselves. Otherwise, snatching a chapati from other dog's mouth is regularly a dog's business. Many things can be understood by this. Be ethically right. Be conscious. Another aspect of reinventing yourself which the doctors specifically need is a good work-life balance, which is the most urgent need for all the professionals. Again, I want to repeat. Don't try to identify yourself and gain from the society by your work achievements. Then you will reduce stress and tension in your life. So good work-life balance. I have devised a formula, and that formula is 8 plus 8 plus 8. Of the 24 hours that you have in a day, you should well distribute into 8 plus 8 plus 8 formula. First 8 hours, your honest, ethical hard work in your profession. Second 8 hours is a good sleep or rest. Doctors, they prescribe this to patients, but fill in the blank. Doctors, they prescribe this to patients and advise them, you need a good sleep. See. But dash, 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 dash. Third 8 hours are very important. You either make your life or break your life by the third 8 hours that you spend of the day. Of course, into fragments during the day. Third 8 hours we preach 3F, 3H, and 3S. 3F is your family, friends, faith. 3H is your health, hygiene, hobby. 3S is your soul, service, and smile. In these 9 departments, your third 8 hours should be spent Only then it is a well-lived, balanced human life. Repeat with me what I say. 38 hours. 3F, 3H, and 3S. 3F is, repeat with me what I say. 3F is family, friends, faith. 3H is health, hygiene, hobby. And 3S is soul, service, and smile. Rethink on this. Write this as well on your study table, working table, sitting table, in your room back home. That I need to find myself closest to this equilibrium formula. We have seen our Guru Pramukh Swami Maharaj in the midst of all these responsibilities at the age of 90. He used to have his morning walk for 30 minutes. He used to have his yogasanas for 20 minutes in the evening. Well, good care of health. At the same time, he would be sitting for more than 4 to 5 hours of administrative meetings, because BAPS Swaminarayan Sanstha, we are one of the largest organizations in the world. We have got a permanent seat in the United Nations as an NGO. How many of you have been to Swaminarayan Akshardham at Gandhinagar or Delhi? Just raise your hands. Almost all of you. I come from that organization. And just 2 months back, our Guru Mahant Swami Maharaj inaugurated the Swaminarayan Akshardham at Robbinsville in New Jersey, the largest Hindu mandir in the Western Hemisphere and the second largest in the world. So we are basically a spiritual organization out for social services. We do 162 different kinds of social services in medical field, education, culture, everywhere. But basically, we intend to give the best spiritual understanding to each and every soul, so that he just does not remain a workman in his life, a workwoman in her life, but becomes a better human being. Pramukh Swami Maharaj, after the age of 51, he traveled to 18,000 towns, villages and cities in 60 countries. He personally read and answered 7.5 lakh letters in his lifetime. He initiated 1,200 saints like us. He personally visited 7.5 lakh homes and offices to sanctify it. In the midst of such hard work, he could still maintain his daily spiritual course. So here I come to the point. As Warren Buffett says, we are not human beings out for a short spiritual journey. We are actually spiritual beings on a very short human journey. We are basically souls, hum Atma hai. And as Lord Krishna says in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, that we have passed through many births. He tells this to Arjun. In this birth, you are an anesthesiologist. In last birth, you may be a woodcutter. Nobody knows. In the next birth, this knowledge is not, you are not going to carry with you, okay? In the next birth, you may be a painter. You may be a singer. Nobody knows. So we have passed through many births. Don't accept the reality that we believe it is a reality, that this is I. When you accept this, the biggest reinvention you do is, you deflate your I. And which is the need of the times. Am I right or wrong? How many of you believe that every third person sitting besides me, or every third person standing in the queue at the bus stop, or every third person in the third car at the traffic jam is in some way more talented and intelligent and academically qualified than me? How many of you believe this? In some way. Raise your hands if you say yes. Every third person besides us is in some way more talented and intelligent than us. Where to keep the I? Deflate your ego. Our Guru Pramukh Swami Maharaj was once asked by a follower that I'm writing this letter for blessings, I want you to write I bless you. He took the help of a saint and wrote with the saint narrated individual letters. I bless you. When he read the letter, the saint besides him, his assistant, his help, He found that everything, all the letters were written capital and I was written small. That is the dotted one of the second alphabet. Rest everything was capital. B-L-E-S-S-Y-O-U. And he said, Swamiji, according to English, the first letter after the full stop should always be capital. Pramukh Swami Maharaj said, I know this, but keep your I always small. This is blessing and this is the real blessing. Keep our I small. And knew the advantage? When you go to a lower level, you get the flow from the higher level. Water flows from the higher level to the lower level. When you deflate your I, knowledge has to come to you. Wisdom has to come to you. Actually, deflating I itself is a big wisdom. So another good aspect of reinventing yourself is tell yourself, as Albert Einstein, after great knowledge, the man who gave us E is equals to mc square, from where we produce the atomic energy, this equation. He says, I am just a speck of dust in the entire creation. If Einstein is a speck of dust, you and me are at least speck of dust, to samjho. Yesterday, we were all a clot of blood in our mother's womb. Tomorrow, we are going to be a speck of dust. Deflate your I. And the best way to deflate your I practically is the person with which you have ego clash. Tell him good morning from your side every day and see it deflating. Now I'm giving you some tough lessons. Difficult lessons. The person with which you have competition in your organization. That competition has resulted into some kind of envy. Go up to him, give him a smile and wish him good morning, or wish him for something wonderful that is achieved. You will find practically something happening within your soul of deflating your I. These are some practical tips. Reinvent yourself by walking on this path. Evolve. And as I said, when you are ethically right, and second thing, when you have a deflated I, the world has to come to you. Resources, they have to come to you. People, knowledge, talents, experiences, all kinds of resources, they have to come to you. It is as simple as that. You want to be a magnet of resources? Yes or no? Everybody of us, we expect that more and more resources should be at my disposal for my best working in life. Yes or no? To have more and more resources at your disposal, two things. Be ethically right and deflate your ego and see what changes you can bring in yourself, in your organization, at your workplace, in your family, in your social circle, in terms of attracting resources towards you. And you become a successful person and you lead. I define success in some other way. I define leadership in some other way. You setting up your own hospital and a chain of hospitals, and you having 50, 100 doctors and a non-medical staff of more than like 200 and a medical staff of 50. And you started your career as an ordinary doctor after your college days, and you reached this level after 25 years, and you believe this is success, isn't it? This is not success, it is just growth. Let me redefine you the word success. The mentality of the professionals are increasing my workspace, increasing my work probabilities, increasing my work success is success in life. No, it is just growth. If that growth is aided by ethics, norms and disciplines, it becomes progress, because progress means sustainable growth. And if that progress is aided by humanity, morality and spirituality, it is success in life. Because by the word success, you need to experience peace. Apart from anything outer achievements, if you don't experience peace and calmness within, you have just grown. You're not successful. Successful, the word includes in itself humanity, morality, and spirituality. So I'm into the last part of my talk. I've been asked to talk till 7:15. I started about 4 minutes late. It's already 7:13. So I'll be just into the last 3-5 minutes and then I'll finish my talk. Practical spirituality in life gives practical results. Discussion of theories of science is good. It's mind-banging and a mental exercise. But only practical science gives you joy in life. For example, on a hot summer afternoon, if you discuss refrigerator for 2 hours, being a technician, and on the other hand, if you have a glass of cold water in your hand to drink or a glass of cold buttermilk to drink, is theoretical science more beneficial practically to us or practical science? Practical science. In the same way, don't exercise your mind for theoretical spirituality. You know, today's generation, youngsters, I talk to youngsters a lot. I have a lot of interactions with them, question and answer sessions at IIMs and IITs. They have an attitude that, Swamiji, basically I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious. The pseudo-secularists have put forward this notion. I argue, you can never be spiritual without being religious. My argument practical is, can you become an anesthesiologist without going to a college, having textbooks and having professors? Yes or no? You can never be. In the same way, you can never be spiritual without being religious. Religious means college is equivalent to a mandir, a religious place. Textbooks is equivalent to the scriptures, and professors are equivalent to saints. Without mandir, spiritual texts and saints, you can never become spiritual. So ये pseudo-secularists ने जो डाल दिया है मन में, the notion that they have created, don't get trapped into it. That I am spiritual, but I am not religious. How can you be academically qualified, get academically qualified without going to a college, having professors and having textbooks? In the same way, without having a mandir, that is a temple, saints, and text, that is a spiritual text, religious text, you can never become spiritual. Research is, they say, practical spirituality helps a lot. You can go on Google now what I say. University of Duke in America, they had a research. They did survey on 4,000 individuals for 10 years. Principally 2 main groups. One group was a regular goer to a religious place. We call it mandir or a temple. The other group was not a goer, that they would not go. Fine, everybody has the right to live with their ideologies. We don't have any issues against them. But what a regular goer to a religious place has an advantage over a non-goer. 4,000 subjects over 10 years. They write in their conclusion report. Again, I'm naming. You can go on the website of the University of Duke and you can find it out. The first advantage, they found that the regular goer to a religious place had 40% less chance of slipping into depression or tension in the same kind of happenings than a non-goer. Isn't this a big advantage in life? A same kind of circumstances are propped up in a goer's family and a non-goer's family. But the goer person has 40% less chance of slipping into depression and tension. Second thing, a regular goer to a spiritual place, they described it as once a week, twice in 15 days, or maybe twice a month. he had an optimistic outlook towards life. Isn't this a big advantage in life? That you always have an optimistic outlook towards life. Third advantage they put forward. That people who were regular goers, they were able to achieve their short-term and long-term goals in a much better way than the non-goers. Isn't this a big advantage? So now reinvent yourself to being absolute spiritual and absolute religious. It will help you being a better professional, being a better human being. Again, University of Miami in Florida, they clearly did a survey between believers and non-believers. Those who were believers in God and chanting the holy name of whichever form of God, and those who were not, what advantage or disadvantage they had amongst each other. University of Miami, Florida. You can go on their website. First advantage that the believer had was that he had better levels of tolerance and acceptance in his life than the non-believer. Isn't this a big advantage in life? Tell me a concrete yes or no. When you reinvent yourself and you evolve to being a better person with a better tolerance level, better acceptance of people and happenings around you, with a better smiling face, you have evolved and you have the power to lead. A believer has better levels of tolerance and acceptance than a non-believer. Second advantage. They found at the University of Miami that a believer had lesser domestic issues, that is domestic violence issues or violence issues or brawls in their neighborhood than a non-believer. Isn't this a big advantage as a human being? Third advantage. The children of the believer family were found to be academically doing quite better than the children of the non-believer family. Isn't this an advantage in life? Fourth advantage. The believer were always the first to come forward for community services than the non-believers. Isn't this a big advantage in your contribution to the community? I listed 4, there are 10, rest 6 is again a homework. You are my class today. You are my class today, isn't it? So I'm entitled to give you a couple of homeworks. Am I right or wrong? There is another homework. You go on the website of these two universities, University of Duke and University of Miami, and you will find this. Today, best of professionals from Stephen Covey, Og Mandino, Ken Blanchard, Anthony Robbins, top class management gurus, even Jim Collins. He must be charging not more $25,000 to $40,000 for 1 hour of talking. You can call him in your next conference. But he will not talk anything other than what I've been talking since last almost 40 minutes. Nothing else than this. He charges that, and this is my humble service. I don't charge a single penny for my talks anywhere. Today also I will not charge anything. This is my humble service to society. And I'm talking since 25 years on national and international platforms. I don't charge a single penny. And you could see the joy on my face and in my attitude. When you go for selfless motive, a mission statement that I described. I do it with the commands of my Guru, Mahant Swami Maharaj, and I'm happy. We as saints, I don't have a bank account. I don't touch money. I don't keep money. None of the BAPS saints do it. We are Bal Brahmacharis. We don't have our biological families. We are lifetime celibates. We don't have a family. We have left back our family. I'm being a saint since 32 years. I've never reconnected with my family member in any way, not even a telephonic talk or a letter. All my academic qualifications are put back. And the same color and the same clothes and the same style I've been wearing since 32 years. But can you see any lesser joy on my face and my attitude than you have? Perhaps somebody of you might be finding more actually. A selfless motive, a mission statement, absolute spirituality, ethical life has the power to evolve yourself from a human being to a divine existence, and you lead Not just lead practically a big organization, but lead by that word, I mean you inspire people to become better human beings. That is actually a leader. That is where you find your place. So thank you very much for patiently listening to me. All my prayers for all of you. And may you serve the community and God much better. Thank you very much.
Thank you for opening up our thought processes, making us reinvent, evolve, and lead. I think it would have produced a tremendous impact on each one of us sitting here. On behalf of the Ganga Institution and on behalf of the faculty, I request Dr. Tushar Choksi to join our Chairman of Department of Plastic Surgery, Dr. Raj Sabhabadi, to present a very, very small memento in memory of this beautiful evening that was unfolded and where we got mesmerizing thoughts and speech. We are deeply indebted to you, Swami, for what you have done for us.